Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, or at least what I hope will be Thursday's edition. I'm going to attempt a puzzle for you called Little Miracle, and this is by Dorlir, the maths professor. And apparently Dorlir created this puzzle for his 7-year-old daughter, whose birthday it is today. Now, and that's why I thought it would be a lovely thing to do if I can solve it. I don't know Professor Dorlir's daughter's name, but I would like to wish her a very happy birthday. I hope you get some chocolate cake, and I really hope I can solve your daddy's puzzle. The reason I'm slightly sceptical is this has 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty on Logic Masters Germany. It's got an enormously high approval rating as well, but we haven't had it tested, so I'm sort of doing this on the fly. If I can't do it, I'll pick another puzzle and try and get that done before 8:30 this evening. This has got quite some rule set as well as an incredible grid. I mean, you can see why it's called Little Miracle in terms of its Sudoku qualities. There are only 3 clues, and when I read you the rules, you'll be like, no, that can't possibly work, and yet apparently it does. So this is what we're going to attempt in the video. It might be a long one, but let's hope I can actually get through it. Now, what do I want to mention before we kick off today? Firstly, we had a stream last night. We streamed Dungeons and Diagrams. Thank you very much if you joined us for that. If you didn't, the video's on the channel now, and it was a lot of fun. It was some of the puzzles were quite difficult, but yeah, we enjoyed it as always, and we will be streaming again soon. We just have to figure out what we're going to stream. Next, I am going to tell you about a radio program that I heard this morning on Radio 4 as I was driving, and it was called something like "What's one thing you can do" or something. I can't actually remember what the name of the radio program was, but the idea was they talked about something you could do to improve your life, either your health, your mental health, or your physical health. And the show was all about how reading poetry aloud for just 5 minutes a day can actually improve your mood and your mental health. And I was thinking about that, and I mean, those of you who've been following the channel for a while will know that I am a big fan of poetry, and I do enjoy reading it aloud. And I wondered if that was why. I think it's something to do with the fact I love language, but there is something very cathartic. Maverick's just taken off and it's about to fly past, about reading poetry. So if I can find it on, I think it's on BBC Sounds, I will put a link to it under the video. And just in case anyone else is interested in that, I may even read a poem at the end of the video. That would be exciting, wouldn't it? I might get to do that later. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it. Let me know what you think. What else? Over on Patreon, what have we got over on Patreon? We have got Glum Hippo's Sudoku Hunt, the Snake Egg Sudoku Hunt. Check it out, it's fantastic. And I've got some other birthdays besides Dorlir's daughter. Let's try, and even younger than Dorlir's daughter, Ludwig over there in Finland is 1 week old today. And I know this because your parents, Ken and Frida, Ken wrote in, apparently Ken and Frida are having chocolate cake today because obviously Ludwig, I'm afraid you're probably still on milk at the moment. But Ludwig, many happy returns. I know your parents are hoping that you will become an expert puzzle solver when you get a bit bigger. I can tell you, if you're watching Cracking the Cryptic at this age, you've got every chance. Now, next, Nina. Nina, you've turned 21 today. I know that you're celebrating with a Sudoku up in the mountains, wherever that is. That sounds intriguing. And Nina asked me to thank her friend Lucas for getting her into the channel. So Lucas, I will extend my thanks to you as well. Thank you for spreading the word about Cracking the Cryptic. And Nina, many happy returns today. I hope you have a brilliant birthday with Sudoku and chocolate cake. And that is all the news, I think. Let's have a look at Dorlir's puzzle. These are the rules of Little Miracle. Get ready. These are quite interesting. Fill the grid with 8 non-overlapping 2x4 regions orientated horizontally, i.e. 2 rows and 4 columns. So I think that's that shape. So we've got to put 8 of that shape in the grid such that they don't overlap. such that each region contains the digits from 1 to 8 once each, and no digit repeats in any row or column. Cells outside regions don't contain digits. So it's a sort of deconstruction puzzle, this, because you can see, if you look at the grid, it's actually normal Sudoku size. So there is a little bit of flexibility about where the regions go, and we're going to have to figure out exactly where they go. Now, the next part of the rules says, draw one loop in the grid that travels orthogonally, doesn't branch, and isn't allowed to touch itself, not even diagonally, and doesn't pass through any of the empty cells. So I think what that means, although I have no way of actually telling, is that we have to draw a sort of one cell wide loop. Because you could draw, it's the bit of that sentence that I'm just pausing on, is the thing where it says it doesn't touch itself even diagonally. Because if we were to draw a really thin loop, would we say that loop there, if I draw that loop, has that touched itself diagonally? Now, visually you'd say no, but if this was a one cell wide loop and looked like that, then it has. And I think that that's what's intended by the rule, but I might be wrong. But I don't see why you would have the sort of clause about doesn't touch itself even diagonally if we were just talking about a thin line going through the centre of cells, because it wouldn't touch itself orthogonally even. So actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm fairly confident that we have to draw a one cell wide loop, and then we have to do that in such a way that we can't have that pattern going on, although you could close it like that, but we can't have the earlier pattern that I managed to draw. You can't have that pattern, although that's a loop. That loop has touched itself, so don't do that. It's too naughty for words. Now it still gets stranger, don't worry. Any two adjacent cells along this loop must include one extreme digit, a 1, 2, 7 or an 8, and one medium digit, a 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there's some sort of polarity thing going along. So once we've built our loop, sort of alternating cells are going to be of one polarity, either high or low, high or medium, I should say. High, extreme or middly. Let's use that, extreme or middly. So once we've built the loop, we could label those as being of one polarity, extreme or middly, and then the others will be the other, whatever that happens to be. Okay, there's two more rules. For each region n, the digit n, must be on the loop within this region. Regions are numbered in reading order based on the position of their top left cell, i.e. a region with its top left cell further down the grid than another region will have the higher region number. If two regions have their top left cell in the same row, the region on the right will have the higher region number. Yeah, that makes total sense. So basically, once we put the regions in, we're going to look at them in normal reading order. So let's put some in. Actually, it's going to take me a while to do this, isn't it? Let's just plonk some in the grid. And then we can think about what we're going to label these up to be. Purple, and I could do that one and this one. So I think what Dorlir is saying is that's region 1, that's region 2, that's region 3, that's region 4, region 5, region 6, region 7, region 8. Right, but beyond that, we're being told that within the regions, the loop must visit. So within this region, wherever the 1 is in that region, the loop goes to that cell. Wherever the 2 is in that region, the loop goes to that cell. Wherever the 3 is in that region, the loop goes to that cell. It's absolutely bonkers, this. I mean, it's another of these puzzles where you read the rules and I just don't understand how people come up with this in a vacuum. I mean, I barely understand how I can approach solving it, but I presume if I think about it enough, I might be able to solve it. But how do you come up with this? What makes you think this could possibly exist in the first place? That is a level of intelligence to which we all aspire, I think. Anyway, there's only one more rule. Digits along marked diagonals sum to the number indicated outside the grid. So that's telling us those 4 cells there sum to 16, and those 9 cells there, okay, well, they can't sum to... Okay, yeah, there's going to be digits along here, or cells along here that don't contain digits, because if they all contain digits, even if they were very small, then that would be a 9. And we can see that it's not a 9, it's a 5. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. We get a single 7 in the grid, which of course must be... Oh, I see. Oh, I hadn't appreciated this. I'm so silly. Yes, it's the 16th of May, and Dorlir's daughter is turning 7. So not only do we have sparse clues and a Sudoku to celebrate the birthday, but the numbers in the grid are exactly appropriate. Oh, I'm sorry, Dorlir. You must think I'm a bit of a wally. Right, anyway. Now, what do we have to do? We've got to put regions in the grid, don't we? Now, with so-called deconstruction puzzles, which are these puzzles where you have to position, the boxes. You don't know where they go. You can normally, and I think that must be the case here, you can normally identify cells in the grid that have to be part of regions. Yeah, okay, let's have a think about that. So, if I pack 6 regions of this puzzle as efficiently as I absolutely possibly could into the top left corner of the grid, if I push them all up and stack them perfectly, in fact, look, to illustrate what I mean, it will be clearer if I do that. I could do that, couldn't I? That would be the most efficient way I could pack digits or pack regions into the top of the grid. But now let's look at the bottom 3 rows of the grid, because I've still got 2 more regions left to put in. Yeah, okay, so yeah, the regions can't slip past one another, so it's not like you can sort of put one there and then slide the other one underneath. So wherever I put the 7th region here, I can't push it too far over to the right, can I? I could push it there, and that would still allow me to put another one in to the right. But yes, effectively, we can look at that space there. That space must entirely contain the 7th region of this puzzle, mustn't it? It must do. Because if it didn't do, if it spilled out here, then we couldn't put an 8th region in. And if it goes any further up, then we're going to impinge upon our perfect packing of the top of the grid. Now, the problem with this is that even knowing that I have to put a region into this shape, I don't know where it goes. It could go there, 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 oops, or there, which means the only thing I get is those. So I'm going to claim, I hope not erroneously, that those squares are definitely in a region in this puzzle. Yeah, and that logic must apply symmetrically all around the piece, mustn't it? I.e., if I'd packed into the bottom right corner, I would have achieved this. If I packed into the top right corner, I'd have achieved. Well, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, it's clear by symmetry why we can do this. And I think we're going to be able to do the same thing for the middle, aren't we? If we sort of pack there and then pack down there, like that, we say those were actually where we put the 3 regions, then you can see that there still has to be a region within that shape. Because if there wasn't, you couldn't possibly put 5 regions into the rest of the grid. So again, it's going to be that one. Yeah, okay, so what we've got here is that shape, that shape, that shape, that shape. All of those cells have to be in a region in the puzzle, even though we don't know where those regions live exactly. There's probably some artful way of articulating that, so that the way I always like it with the 11 by 11 grids and the 9 3 by 3 regions is the pigeonhole principle. But it's a bit less, yeah, it's perhaps a bit less clear here, because we don't just have 8 cells in the grid, we've actually got 24 cells that we know definitely have to be in. But yeah, I mean, it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? I mean, imagine that square there was not in a region. I think it's very clear, or at least it's very clear to me, and I hope very clear to you, to say you couldn't possibly then put 8 regions in this puzzle. Because by ruling out this square, you're ruling out that entire block there. And in the bottom 2 rows, you can now only put 1 region. And in this area, there is no way you can put more than 6. Because there's just not enough space. However you pack it, it won't work. Yeah, so that, I mean, hopefully that's clear. I think it's clear. Now, right, so now we must be able to think about this diagonal, I think. So all of those are digits, and they're either 1s or 2s, I'm going to claim, because obviously there are 4 counting digits along the 5 diagonal. So none of these digits individually can be higher than 2. It could be a 2 and 3 1s, or it could be 4 1s, and then another region. Another region sitting in the gaps. Although, I will say, if there is another region, it's not there. Yeah, I mean, this is right, isn't it? That simply can't be in a region. Because if it was, no, it can't. It's obvious. If it was, then that region looks like that, doesn't it? And now these 2 squares are in the same region and would add up to at least 3. And once we added another, put 1 into each of those, which is the least we could put in, we would get to 6. So there's no way. That's actually, that cell is not in the puzzle. That's quite right. And by symmetry, that cell's not in the puzzle then. By exactly the same logic down here, we can't put that in a region. Right. Here is a nice deduction then. Okay, can that cell be orange? I'm going to claim no, because what I would have to join this cell either to this region or to this region. It can't live outside both of those regions, and whichever region it joined, I couldn't then make this a 1, could I? Well, I could make it a 1, but that would make the region it had joined a 2, and I'd have too many, because I'd have 5 actual digits on the diagonal, but I couldn't make them all 1s, so that can't work. So this square is also out, and by symmetry that square is out. So it's just this one. This isn't going to be in. I'm sure it won't be. Oh no, actually, do I? No, I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. Because it... Yeah, that's weird, actually. You could do that, couldn't you? So maybe it's 5 1s along the diagonal. Hang on. Ooh, that's like itching my brain. My brain is telling me that's wrong. Why? Why, brain? Articulate why it's wrong. Naughty brain. I don't know. My subconscious is telling me there's some problem with this, but I don't know what. I can't. My conscious isn't telling me what that is. Okay, all right. I'm going to abandon that thought altogether, and I'm going to say, yes. Okay, this region. I know what it looks like, don't I? Because it's got to go. It's got to have 2 rows in it, and it can't go left. So okay, that is an actual region of the puzzle. Now, okay, let's just delineate this. Let's delineate that region. Now, okay, so what I can see here is this now has to go there, but I don't think I know whether it goes up or down. If I do know that, I apologise, I'm not sure. This by symmetry has to be in, and so we get the same thing at the top, which means that square is going to be in. So there is a lot of symmetry at the start of this puzzle. Right, I see. This, yes, in effect, the deducing that this cell's out of a region pushes. We now sort of know the shape of every region below this, because there are only 6 rows below this, and they have to fit 3 regions in. So this region is going to extend downwards, this region is then going to extend downwards, and this region is then going to extend downwards. So I actually get another region. I get that boundary, and by symmetry I'm going to claim I can do all that. Yeah, I can do all that here. This region needs to have 2 rows in it, so that's one of its rows, so that's some sort of region. Then this region must go up, and this region must go up, and we get a bit more things sorted. Now that square's definitely not in a region, that square's definitely not in a region, these 2 squares are not in a region, that square's not in a region. I'm going to take advantage of everything I can possibly see. Those are not in a region. Right. I mean, how can this possibly solve from here? Oh, sorry. Look, here's a very easy point. Right, there's a 16 diagonal. Well, the most those would be a 7-8 pair. 7 and 8 only add up to 15, so that's got to be it. That's given me another region. There we go. Unfortunately, that is a break in the symmetry though, because I haven't got a 16 clue on the right hand side. Okay, but here is right. Here is a point. Yeah, this is very clever. This is so imaginative. Right, here is the point. We were told that in every region there is every region has 1 digit in it that is visited by the loop, and that is the number of that box, if you like. So 1 in that box is visited by the loop. 2 in this box is visited by the loop. But remember, the loop is not allowed to touch itself. So imagine the loop tried to go to that square. How could it do that? It could go do, but its next move is very difficult indeed, because it has to go there and it will touch itself. So the loop can never go even into these 2 squares, because the loop, again, once it tries to turn and get out, it can't. And that means that to get into box 2 at all, and it must, the loop must only go into one of those 2 squares, or, well, possibly both. Right. And that is beautiful, because that gives me that digit. Because now I know that the loop must visit a 2 in one of these because it cannot visit a 2 in one of these. So that square is a 1. Which is not that surprising in the context of this diagonal, but that's still a deduction. It's still a digit in this grid. Right, so now 1 in box 1 is up here somewhere. And the same, no, that's not true, because we don't know. But, yes, okay. I think probably there is another point we can make there, and that is, how does the loop get out of box 2? That is a fair point. Right, here we go. Let's imagine this square is not in a region. Then the loop, let me try and show this somehow. The loop's going to go, and it has to visit one of these squares. So you're going to force the loop to do this, and the loop here has touched itself because it's a 1 cell wide loop, assuming I understand the rules. So that won't work, and that means we actually get the shape look of this region because we have to be able to go into this square from this box, and that is going to give me more thingies. Thingies being the technical term for empty cells. Right, right, and that one has pushed this one over. So now that is another region. We've only got one region to do now. Right, hang on. Okay, no, well, whatever my subconscious was telling me was nothing like. Yeah, I mean, at this point I can now see that this is not able to be in a region. That certainly wasn't what my brain was going with before. So I've only got one region to place. But the logic is presumably symmetrical. Yeah, okay. In this box, I know that the loop visits this box because there is a 7 in this box. In fact, the 7 is going to be down there, isn't it? Does that mean that's a 7? Sorry, that's a sort of second order implication of what I'm thinking. But yeah, because the loop can't turn here, the loop can never go into these squares. So the loop goes into one of these squares where it hits the 7. And in fact, we're now being told it's that square. And now, because this is a corner of the loop can't come here. Because if it did, it would turn and hit itself. So let's find a colour for the loop. Should we go green? So the loop, I think, does that, and then it can't touch itself, so it has to do that. This has to go up here because it can't touch itself by going this way, and that look does this, and all of a sudden we have placed the regions, which is an absolute triumph. And now, all we have to do, what do we have to do now? we've got to think about middly digits or something. Okay, so we've only really, all right, we've got 3 things to shuffle now. We've got to think about making sure the diagonals work. We've got to make sure that that digit is extreme. So these 2 digits are middly. Which means these 2 are extreme. I'm just trying to think about how to do this actually. Am I better off, because I quite like to colour these and I don't want to colour them on top of other colours. I think I'm going to actually do, well, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to colour this. This is an extreme digit, so we'll make it blue, and we'll make orange middly then. So these are extreme. Yeah, I mean, there's a sort of bishop's colour thing that's going to happen now. So however we manage to draw the loop in the grid, cells on the same bishop's colour as this one, for example, are always going to be middly, and cells on the same bishop's colour as this one are always going to be extreme. And that is already interesting because the loop cannot go here, because this is an extreme digit. This is a 1, 2, 7 or 8, so it can't go there for its next move, or indeed ever, because that's going to repeat the same polarity on the loop for 2 cells running. So the loop must go here. Whoopsie. Right, and the loop can't go in the corner because it'll hit itself on the way out. So it's got to go there, and now it's got to go up. And all of a sudden, now I can extend this. This is, oh, I don't know whether to say this or not, but it's not too bad so far. It's not too bad. We've been able to do a bit of it. Now, okay. Okay. So what do we do with this new information that we've got? Right, I can see one thing. So if we look at the basic shape of the loop down, sorry, why won't it let me? Like, you can see there that the loop has to get into the top of the grid somehow. Now, imagine the loop didn't take this junction. Then the loop would sort of do this, and it would have to close, wouldn't it? Because it would. Yeah, and the loop would never have visited this part of the world, because there's only one exit here. So in fact, we can immediately say that the loop must take this exit, definitely, and it must take this exit. So those are the 2 ways in which this cell and this cell get out of the bottom right hand corner of the grid, and the loop can't touch itself, so it can't wiggle. It has to, once it takes that cell, it must close with alacrity. And now the loop can't go there because that is touching diagonally that square, and that's not allowed. So we've got to go there. And now we can do a check. Actually, these should both be these should both be blue by bishop's colour, unless I've made a mistake, because that's what I'm expecting. Look, yeah, it's right, in terms of bishop's colour, they are on blue, so that's gorgeous. That is, I think, indicative that we're on the right lines here. Right. What do we do now? I've got to go into box 2. Yes, I know that's a loop segment, because I've got to get out of box 2. Oh, well, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Given that this is a loop segment, and it must be, because otherwise, remember, given I've got to go in here, if this was out of bounds for the loop would circle like that and hit itself. Now, this must close with alacrity. So we can do that. We can do that. We can do... look now. This is extreme. So this is extreme. This is middly. So it's not 2. So that is 2. And it's on the loop, because 2 in box thingy is on the loop. So the loop does that. The loop must continue, because it has to. This square is blue. This square is orange. So orange is middly. So it's not 1. So the one that's on the loop in this box, it can't be in the corner, because if it's in the corner, the loop turns around and hits itself again. Yeah. So this is on the wrong bishop's colour to be a 1. Given the 1 would be on the loop, that would be a middly digit. It would be orange. So that is a 1. This is remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. So that's now blue. It doesn't mean the loop can't go here. The loop can go here. But But sorry, I know I've stopped speaking. I'm just trying to work out what I'm meant to do with that knowledge. It's going to be something to do with making sure that we get the right colour, we get the right digits on the loop in the right boxes. So in this box, for example, there is a 3 that is on the loop, and 3 is going to be in the orange colour, so that could be a 3. But it doesn't have to be the 3, because the loop will still have to go. Well, the loop has to go through those squares, doesn't it? Because it can't touch these squares without touching itself here. So in some way the loop goes through these squares, so there will be an orange in that cut through box 3, at least one orange, and that could be a 3. Oh goodness. No. I mean, this is ridiculous. There is nothing here. Have I missed a rule? I'm going back to the rules. Hang on. I've drawn the loop. I'm trying to draw the loop. I know there's polarity along the loop. I know I've got to put the region numbers on the loop. And I've just got these digits or these clues outside the grid. One of these has to be a 2. Why does that matter? I'm so sorry. I'm just totally hit a brick wall here. I thought this was going quite well a moment ago. The loop can't go into any of those squares or it will touch itself. All these squares. Oh, I see. Those squares are actually, they are a 1-8 pair, aren't they, in the column? Because they can't be 2 and they can't be 7, so they are the most extreme digits. Oh, I see. Ah. Well, I've seen something. Hang on. Let me just mull this over before I mention it. That. Yeah, okay. Okay, so there's a sort of set thing. So these deconstruction puzzles, often if they're complicated, they do involve trickeries, by which I mean sort of set type stuff. So I'm not articulating this very well, but look at those digits for a moment. Those digits, they have to make an appearance in this row, because this row has all 8 numbers in it. Well, where do those purple digits go? They're not there, because they've already appeared in this region, so they go there. And that means they don't go there. So in this row, which has 8 white squares in it, they must go here. And then in this row, they must go here. Now what I think that means is that these are different numbers. And if they're different numbers, we're going to get a 1 here, which might be it might be at least a little bit helpful, because you can see that this square is certainly in purple, but this square is not in purple. So these are not the same number. So this is a 1-2 pair, adding up to 3, 4. That's a 1, I think. Now 1 in this box now, 1 is a blue digit, so it's in one of 2 places. It's absolutely hopeless. Let's try that again in the columns, shall we? So let's go for, how's it going to work in the columns? It's going to be something like, yeah, okay, so if we go, it's sort of set theory again, isn't it? If we highlight those cells there, we can describe those cells absolutely exactly. Yeah, in fact, I might do this by set theory. Look. Let's compare those green cells there to those yellow cells there. That's not the most beautiful thing that's ever been drawn on a Sudoku grid. Just focus on the green and the yellow. So what I'm saying there is that the yellow cells, that's 4 complete boxes of this puzzle. This box, hello Maverick, this box and this box. So 4 complete boxes. This column, that's 1 complete column. This is 1 complete column, and this is 1 complete column. So the green cells are 3 complete sets of the digits 1 to 9, because a complete column of the Sudoku contains 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. The yellow cells are 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9, because each box contains 1 set of the digits 1 to, oh, I said 1 to 9, I meant to say 1 to 8, apologise, hopefully that's not confused anybody too much. So the difference between yellow and green is 1 set of the digits 1 to 8. And those cells are going to be these, the ones in yellow but not in green. So what we've actually got here is a sort of extra region of the puzzle that lives in those positions. So this extra region in yellow yeah, sorry, this is not helpful, is it? I don't know. I haven't got a clue what I'm meant to do with that. The problem is I've got so few digits in the grid. I mean, I suppose I know this is a 7. So I always knew these weren't 7, and what the yellow things revealed is that these aren't 7s either. 7 is not an orange digit. So you learn something like 7 is in one of those 4 squares in box 1. But that's lunacy. That is lunacy. Sorry. I mean, this is crazy. This is very difficult. Oh, alright, 8 in box 8. Where's that going? That's got to be in one of those squares, because we have to visit an 8, don't we? So there is an 8 in one of those squares. So if I knew that was 8, then I would know this was 1. If I knew that was 8, then that would be 2, because that would be 8, that would be 1, and this would be an extreme digit that wasn't 1, 7 or 8, so that would be 2. Golly, I've come to an absolute standstill. What do we think? How are we going to make progress now? haven't got a clue. I have not got a clue. I presume it's the same over on the right in terms of extra regionage. So that's 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So it's that set, that set, that set, and that set. Those digits. Oh, well, actually, I am going to use that slightly, because if we look at this extra region, the green cells now, you can see that green is not here. Well, sorry, green is here, but 2 has already appeared in green, so 2 can't repeat in green down here. So 2 in box. It doesn't actually. No, it's not even worth it. I was wondering whether I could do something, but 2 is in one of 3 places. I mean, I will pencil mark it, but it's a hopeless deduction. Wow, okay. So that was not it. This is really weird. Okay. So how do we do this at all? Oh, it's not the 16 diagonal, is it? That's now not got a 7 in those squares. So these could be. Oh no. That's 8 and 6 is the minimum. That's quite large. So that doesn't even have to be a big digit. Right. So how do we do this then? Can we... One of those is a 1. One of these 2 digits is a 1. Now, whichever one of these is a 1, yeah, it's going to mimic itself into those squares, isn't it? So what I mean by that is, imagine this was a 1. Then we know that the 1 is always in the sort of white stripe part of these boxes, because the purple digits are always the same. The string of purples is the same, so the string of the digits under the purples is always the same. I could colour those, but it's already got too complicated really for me, how the number of colours I've got going on. So if this was a 1, then 1 couldn't be in purple here, because that would imply 1 was in purple here, and there were 2 1s in this box. So if this is a 1, this is a 1, and if this is a 1, this is a 1. Those are the 2 possibilities. Now, no, maybe. That's it. Golly gosh, that is vicious. That's by far the hardest deduction. Right. So the deduction here is this is not a 1. But to do that, I've had to put the purple thing together with the yellow thing, because if this is a 1, I think this is right. If this is a 1, now I just worked out that was now 1, because 1 has to be in the white squares in all of these groupings. So these are now both 1s. Where do I put the 1 that I know must exist in the yellow set now? And unless I'm mistaken, this one knocks out these 2 dominoes, this one knocks out that one, and that one knocks out that one. There's nowhere to put a 1 in yellow, and that cannot be right. Oh, good grief. So that means that is 1, which means this is 1, which means this is 2. it means this is, I was going to say, the way my brain works is weird. I was going to say, now this can't be 1 because it would be in the wrong colour, neglecting the fact there was already a 1 in the column. So now we've actually got something. We have got... Yeah, this is really good now. This is really good. Okay. So not only have we learnt that 1 appears in all of the purple sets, so there, so it's got to be a 1 here, one of those two. And we know which one, because 1 can't repeat in yellow. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. 1 by Sudoku is now here. 1 by Sudoku is now here. So these are a 2-8 pair. Because they must be extreme digits and they're not 1s and 7s. And I've got all the 1s in the grid out of absolutely nowhere. Okay. And let's keep this going then. So now... Right. So now let's think about 2 in the yellow set. Where is 2 in the yellow set? Because this 2 knocks out these squares. This 2 knocks out those 2. So it's up here and it must be there. It's the only place it can go. And 2 is always in the white cells of these middle boxes. So 2 is in this domino. That's weird, actually. On this side of the grid, we know very little about 2. So 2's in one of 3 places there, I think. 2 is an extreme digit, so it's not there. Why have I got a 2 here? Don't know. I think that's not valid, because I think that 2-8 pair feels right, given I've got 1 and 7 here. So I'm going to say 2 is in one of those squares, the white squares, in box 6. Oh, and 2 is not an orange digit. So 2 is in one of those 3 squares I'm going to claim. In box 7. Wow, okay. So, what do we do with this new knowledge? Okay, where is 7 in the green set? And the answer is, it's obviously not there. It's not here by Sudoku, so it's in one of these 2 cells. So if 7 was in the purple set, then I'd have to make sure I put 7s in all the purple sets. I couldn't go there, so it'd be in one of those 2. But if 7 is in the white cells, which are these, I don't think that's very... So I suppose actually if 7 was in the white cells here, it would be interesting, because 7's not an orange digit, so 7 would go there. So we get 2 7s for the price of 1. Okay, I don't know what to do with this new information. I've still done the most appalling job of drawing this loop, haven't I? But that is important. Okay, I can't go from a 2 to a 1 on the loop, because they're the same polarity, so I get an extra cell of loop there. I've got to go to this square now, which means that square is orange, and it is middly. And from there, we have to go to a... There, we're going to have to go to a 1, 2, 7, or 8, which is not going to be a 1 or a 2. So if we go up, this square would be a 7 or an 8. If we go there, this square would be a 7 or an 8. And either of those things would be nice to know. Oh, hang on. Right, in this box, I've got 8 and 2 in the white strip, not in the purple. So that follows through. So there's an 8 in one of these. And we know it can't be here because that's orange. So 8 is in one of those 3 squares. There we go. So 8 is in one of those 4 squares. Can 8 repeat in green? No, it certainly can't. So 8 is not orange. So can 8... Oh, bother. I was hoping 8 hadn't appeared in yellow. Oh, sorry, had appeared in yellow. Then I would have known it here. But 8 hasn't made an appearance in yellow. So that could be its appearance. No, that's not... Okay. What box? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is box 5. So in box 5, there must be a 5 on the loop, which could be here. If it's not there, it's there. So okay, well that's interesting. So the 5 is in one of those 2 places. Obviously it can't be here because the loop can't go there without hitting itself as it turns. So one of those is a 5. And again, if 5 was in purple, we've got to duplicate the 5 along the purples. Okay, so can we repeat that logic? Presumably we can here. 4 must be on the loop here. 4 is an orange digit. So either this is itself a 4, or that is a 4. One of those things is true. Let's do the same here. 3. Oh, but that could be a 3. So the 3 is in one of 3 positions there. I think those would all be on the correct bishop's colour for an orange 3. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know, actually. Okay, let's try 6 in this box. But so 6 is a middle. 6 is an orange. See, look. It's fine. The loop never goes there, actually. That's got the wrong polarity, that 1. So the loop either... Oh, if there was a reason that square couldn't be a 7, that would be very... Oh! Oh, no. Right. That's... Right. This is good. This is really good. I mean, how did you set this, though? Because it's not like these... I don't feel, anyway, that these deductions are easy. Some of these deductions are really complicated, and they're happening at a pretty deep level of the puzzle. And having... I don't know how you'd set this so that it works at this sort of stage. But look, this is orange. So if the loop went here, this should be an orange digit, but it's not. It's a blue digit. So the loop doesn't go there. If the loop turned left, therefore, it would have to come and hit itself here. So it doesn't do that. It goes to that square. And if it goes to that square here is now a blue digit. And if that's a blue digit, it's not 1, 2, or 8, and it is 7. And then, well, so 7, oh, this is great, actually, because now 7 is a purple digit, which means 7 gets placed here. 7 is a purple digit. So 7, oops, so 7 is in one of those. And this can't go into a 1. It now needs to see an orange digit, which must be above it. So this square is now orange. And this square is therefore not 2 or 8, because 2 and 8 are blue digits. So this has now become, believe it or not, a 2-8 pair in box thingy. Right, and now I know where the loop goes in box thingy, because the loop does not go here. Because if the loop went there, that needs to be a blue digit, and it can't be 1, 2, 7, or 8. So the loop doesn't go there. The loop must turn and then close. And that's beautiful. So that digit is blue. These digits are both... One of them is a 4, but we were expecting that. there's a 2-8 pair in this column, so that's not 2, so this is 2, and that's going to unwind the other 2's, so this is 2 and this is 8. Okay, where is 8 in this box? Because it's not in those squares anymore, and it can't be here because it's got the same polarity as 2, so it's got to go in the corner, which means 8 is in one of these squares. Now, so, okay. So have I, oh I see, and 6 in this box has to be in one of those 2 squares because it must be on the loop. And my loop is now getting a little bit more substantial. I've sort of done the right hand side of the loop, but I haven't done the left hand side nearly as well. I don't think I have. Can we do any better with my green? Look at my green set, that's interesting. So my green set has all of the extreme digits in it. So all the other digits in it are orange digits. Those are the orange digits. They're not on the loop, but they're still orange. So that is 3, 5 or 6 because it can't be 4. And that I haven't got a clue about. I'm not prepared to pencil mark it if I know nothing about it. Can I do that the other way round then? Let's look at the yellow digits again. So what digits have we got in yellow? Yeah, there we go. That 8's proved useful because if we revisit the yellow set of digits and ask where the 8 goes in it, I think it's only got one possible place, and that's lovely. So, what does that mean? Well now, okay, so now it's the same thing. I've got all of the extreme digits in my yellow set, so every other cell in yellow is an orange digit. And this one can't be 5 or 7, so that one is 3, 4 or 6. It's not 7, I suppose, because 7, we've worked out, can't go in yellow again. So 7 is now in one of those 2, one of these 3. 7 has appeared in yellow, so 7. Can we do something better with 7 somehow? Where is 7 in box 2? And the answer to that is, it's not there because it's extreme, so it's in one of 2 places. Where is 7 in box 1? Not there, because it would then have repeated in yellow. Not there, so one of those squares. No, okay, so that's not very helpful, I don't think. Wow. 2 is not there, look, by some sort of magic that we've done earlier. How many 2's have I got in the grid? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I see, I've got 2 2's left. And they're sort of in an X-wing pattern. That's deeply, deeply frustrating. Oh, what about my 16 diagonal now? I've got 8 on it. So these 2... Oh, that's right, there we go. These 2 squares have to add up to 8, and they're not 1, 7, and they're not 2, 6, so they are 3 and 5. Which might be useful. Maybe. Oh, this is, yeah, that's an orange digit on the loop, so that's 4 or 6 now, definitely. Yes, where's 8 in this box? That's good. That goes there. How many 8's have we got? Several. That's not an 8. That's not an 8. Oh, I'm going to have an X-wing on 8's, aren't I? Oh, you rotten puzzle. You naughty, naughty puzzle. What are these digits? Even. 2. Oh, they are 2, 4, and 6. So, I mean, that is an orange digit. I see that, even though it's not on the loop. It's definitely orange. That's definitely blue. That's these are all blue. These are blue. I mean, I don't know if it's even worth doing that, but I've got a very complicated grid here. I'm just trying to keep track of everything. And for our next trick, we're going to have to work out... I don't know. Well, probably, how does the loop keep going? No, the problem... Yes, of course. Right. This square is not able to be of extreme polarity because it sees 1, 2, 7, and 8. If we made it orange, it was clearer. So the loop must go up. And that is going to be beautiful because that means this square is blue and it's 7 exactly because it's the only digit available. And that means that's not 7. No. I thought my 7s were going to be done by that. No. Oh, you rotten thing. Sorry. No, that's not done it at all. I'm sorry. No, that's complete and utter gibberish. Well, the only good thing that we get... No, we don't get that thing. So if the loop goes here now, that would have to be a low digit, but it would be low. That is a low digit. Because these are all the orange digits that we have in this box, look. But if the loop went up, this would be a low digit. We don't seem to know very much about low digits in this box. This box is underpowered as regards low digits. 2s, 7s and 8s. Can we not do better somehow? Do we know the ultimate way? No. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. This is weird, actually. Is it going to be something to do with... Oh, I don't... I'm so sorry. I can't see it at all. These are not on the loop. So the loop passes through some portion of this 2x2. And in doing that... How does it go through that square? That's my question. That actually might be the best question I could ask. I like that question. How does it go through this square, very specifically? I think the answer is it can't, because that is a purple square. And purple squares are 1s and 7s. In terms of if it goes through this square, this is a blue digit then, by Bishop's colouring. But it can't be a 1 or a 7, and it can't be a 2 or 8, because 2 or 8 appear in the sort of bottom sets in each of these 4 boxes. So that square is out of bounds. And if that's out of bounds, then the loop can't go through it. The loop can't go through this square, because that's next to this strand of loop. So the loop goes through that square very specifically, and it does that. And that presumably does something. I don't know what, but something. So this square is now blue by dint of polarity along the loop, and that's a 2 or an 8 therefore, so it's not a 1 or a 7. So this square is now that's not 7, because it would have the wrong polarities. That switches the 7 over here. So now, well, now this has got blue polarity, and it's not 1 or 2. I'm going to say it could be 7 or 8. Is that really true? 7 in this box is in one of 2 places. Oh no! You silly puzzle! That's so peculiar. So I don't know how this joins up. I don't think I do anyway. I don't know how this joins up. How long have I had? An hour and 10 minutes. That has flown past. That has flown past. Okay. I don't know where to look now. I mean, does anybody know where to look now? I've got a bad feeling we're going to have to look at the orange digits. And that is frankly slightly terrifying. Because if I look at even if I look at my extra sets, I've done really well with 1s, 2s, 7s and 8s, and I think I've done really well in the green set as well. I mean, how is it ever going to be disambiguated, this, from now on? Yeah, it could be to do with digits that I need to put on the loop in the right places. But even if it is that, it still looks very plausible. I mean, I've got at least 2 options in most boxes. So this box, I've already got the one on the loop. So is it orange digits? And if it is orange digits, how should we colour them? That's the other question that we're going to have to wrestle with. I don't know. I don't know how to really even commence thinking about this. I feel like sorry, I've just stopped talking, haven't I? I'm just struggling. I feel like I'm meant to use these digits somehow. That's what I feel like I'm meant to be doing, but I don't see how to do it. And I don't really want to introduce new colours for these digits because I'm already in a complicated chromatic world here. Right, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll use letters. I'll use letters for a moment. B, C, D. Right, can we do anything with that? What do we learn from that? The answer might be absolutely El Zippo. Is the answer El Zippo? Or not? No. Well, I think I've got one thing. No. Oh no, this is obvious. Oh no, Simon. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh golly, I've missed something big here. Right. Okay, I mean, is it? I think it's as simple as saying, where does that digit, which I've labelled D, where does it go in green? So it's a 4 or a 6. Now, it can't go in the green set in its own column. And it can't go there, and it's not 1, and it's not 7. So it goes there, and those digits are the same. And they have to therefore be 6, I think. That feels right. The reason I'm pausing, though, is that that is going to do an awful lot of stuff. Like an awful lot of stuff, isn't it? Because if I make that 6... Well, let's think about this. 6 is now not there, but 6 needed to be in the loop, on the loop in box 6, so 6 is now here. Now where does 6 by Sudoku go in that box? It goes here. Now where does 6 go in this column? I don't know that, but it goes in one of those two squares. 6 has made an appearance in yellow and in box 7, so 6 can't repeat in yellow, so this has become 3 or 4. This is a 2, whoopsie, this is a 2-4 pair, so that is a 3 or a 5 to complete this row. We might well be able to do other logic with A, B and C in a minute, but let's just see if we can go further with this idea first. So what have I got? I've got 3, 4, 5 left to place. So this digit is 3, 4 or 5. And that is the digit C, which is part of the green set, but it hasn't appeared yet in the yellow set. So it's not there, and it's not there. It's not that digit or that digit. So C is in either this square, which looks quite likely, doesn't it? I mean, by Sudoku on this box, C is in one of those two positions. Or it's here, which is also a possibility. Now this digit is also 3, 4 or 5, as is this one. And that digit has to find a home in the green set, and that must be the same as that digit. So that digit is B. B is 3, 4 or 5. Yeah, okay, and where is B in this box here? And B, I think, is there, isn't it? So that is B. Just by our old friend Sudoku. And that means that B, okay, we now know B is in the lower part. Oh, so B is here. B is in the lower part of each of these boxes. So B is in a pair up there with the 7. B7 pair. Yeah, maybe this is running a little bit. Yeah, see that. Yeah, see all I think we're learning now. A is now a purple digit. So these are an AC pair. 6. Maybe I should continue with 6s. 6 is definitely a lowercase digit. So 6 is in one of those two cells, definitely. Does that help us or not? Don't know, actually. Still struggling a bit to see how to finish this. It's quite remarkable, this puzzle. Quite remarkable. Even now, I sort of feel like I should be able to solve it eventually, but it's still not completely clear to me, or well, at all really, where I should be looking for the natural next step. This is a 3 or a 5, so this is 3, 4, or 5. Do we know? We know this is not A, so, and I know A is not B, so that's a little bit interesting. A is that digit by Sudoku in this box, and A is 3 or 5 in this box, so that digit becomes 3 or 5. So A becomes 3 or 5. Wherever we see A, we're allowed to replace it with just 3 or 5 now. See, what we really need. So this digit, no, we don't know. That digit's now C. So C lives in one of those squares, along with B and a 2. Yeah, that makes sense. One of these is a 4, is all we're really learning, which we already knew once we knew that A was that one. Okay. So A has made an appearance in the green set. So A has to make an appearance in the yellow set. Where does A do that? And the answer is A could be here or here. And both of those things look possible. I'm beginning to think, and I could well be wrong about this, beginning to that C, 3, 4, 5. So this is A. But A, hang on, A can't be 4, can it? That could be it. Yeah, that's it. Wow. So A in this box is there, definitely, by Sudoku. A is 3 or 5. Let's put A in. So that's not 4. And if that's not 4, 4 has to be on the line here. Because 4 is... This is box 4, so 4 is B. That's brilliant. 4 is B. 4 is B. So C is 3 or 5. 4 is B. Wherever we see... And so now, B, which is 4, is in the lower part of all these boxes. So this becomes a 4-6 pair. And don't we have to put 5 on the line here? We do. So the 5 now has to be here. And that has to be on the loop. And that is going to take our loop that way. So if this is a 4-6 pair, that is 3. That seems indisputable. And 3, no, do we know what 3 is? I don't know. I don't think we do. All we've learned is the nature of... We've learned the nature of B. B was 4. B was 4, so that's a 4-7 pair. Oh, this is so exciting now, because we have a chance now to solve this, I think. So did we ever know what this was? I mean, we've learnt it's 5, but we haven't really... Oh, where's 4? Oh no, 4's already appeared in this box. That's not a very good question, Simon. 4 is in one of those two squares in column 4. Because it can't be here. It doesn't seem to be able to be there. So 4 is up there. 4 is a middly digit, so that's fine. So we now know this is a 3-5 pair, don't we? By Sudoku on the purples. And we know... we know this. This isn't a 3. I know that sounds obvious for me to say that 4 isn't 3, but 4 is not 3. And there has to be a 3 on the loop here. And that has to be there. Okay. Oh, we could have got that from Sudoku, but... So that's 3, that's 5. Do we? I don't know if we do know the order. We probably do somehow. I just not being intelligent enough to work it out. 3 has appeared in... 3 has to make an appearance in this box, and it's in the same positions, look, as 4. So this is a 3-4 pair. And that seems to indicate that that square there is a 6. And that means this is from 2 or 8 and is a blue digit. And that is obviously a middly digit. And somehow or other, we have nearly closed the loop now. We're really close. That's a 3. So C has become a 5. Right. C is 5. C is 5. Okay, so that's a 3. 3, 4, 4, 7 by Sudoku. 7, 8 by Sudoku. 8, 2 by Sudoku. 2, 4 by Sudoku. 4, 6 by Sudoku. Oh, if this goes wrong now, I will weep. I will actually weep on camera. I know some of you will now be thinking, go wrong, but please don't go wrong. Please don't. 3, 3, 3. Could that be right? And if it is right, then I need to close the loop. And I can do that because I can't go to a 7. I have to go to a 6. And that might be correct. Right, let's colour in all the remaining digits so that we have a pattern of sensibleness. 3, 5 are both orange digits. 7 is a high digit. 5 is a middly digit. 7 is a high digit. So I've got some cells in here which are seriously coloured. 1, 2 and 8 are all blue. 3, 5 and 4 are all orange. 7 is a high digit. 4 is a middly digit. Now, the thing I just want to check, I'm going to circle if we have got, so that's on the loop, that's on the loop, that's on the loop. 4 in this box needs to be on the loop, is 5 in this box is on the loop, 6 in this box is on the loop. Oh no, 8 in this, 8 in that. I was thinking 7 in this. No, this is 8. So there, I think it's possibly right. It is not inconceivable. This is correct. Whoa, did it? 51 people have solved that. Wow. That is quite a lot of people, isn't it? In only 4 days. That is quite a lot of people, because I think that's quite hard. Call me names, but I do think that's quite hard. And what a ridiculous piece of setting that is, Dorlir. You have created a genuine miracle for your little miracle. That is unbelievably clever. Literally, almost literally unbelievably clever. I don't understand how you think that could possibly exist, and therefore you could try to construct it. It doesn't make sense. And yet you did, and somehow it solves. It's a beautiful puzzle. My goodness me, it's a beautiful puzzle. And I am very, very thrilled to have got through it. There, I've said it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. Happy birthday to Dorlir's daughter. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure-dome decree, where Alf the sacred river ran, through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girdled round, and there were gardens bright with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree, and here were forests ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. But oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted down the green hill athwart a cedarn cover, a savage place as holy and enchanted as ere beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. And from this chasm with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if this earth in fastic pants were breathing, a mighty fountain momently was forced, amid whose swift half-intermitted burst huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail, or chaffy grain beneath the thresher's flail, and mid these dancing rocks at once and ever it flung up momently the sacred river. 5 miles meandering with a mazy motion, through wood and dale the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean. And mid this tumult Kubla heard from far ancestral voices prophesizing war. The shadow of the dome of pleasure floated midway on the waves, where was heard the mingled measure from the fountain and the caves. It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. A damsel with a dulcimer in a vision once I saw. It was an Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Abora. Could I revive within me her symphony and song, to such a deep delight would win me, that with music loud and long I would build that dome in air, that sunny dome, those caves of ice, and all who heard should see them there, and all should cry, "Beware, beware, his flashing eyes, his floating hair! Weave a circle round him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honey dew hath fed, and drunk the milk of paradise."